still there.
There's going to be battles all the way through, and the ones to watch from our perspective, of course, at the front you've got Great Britain trying
lights are out.
Yes, Great Britain trying to get a jump on France, but I'm sure Nicolas Lapierre will be aware of that. But behind you've got Canada, New Zealand, and the more experienced Ralph Fairman for Team Ireland in 5th place.
Here we go, and again Nicolas Lapierre is on it straight away. As soon as the safety car comes in, he was accelerating pretty hard down that short stretch, and I think he's just going to gun it from the word go. And here we are through turn 14. Lapierre for France, leading from Robbie Kerr for Great Britain. Canada in 3rd, but Canada's under attack from New Zealand. Then it's Ireland and Switzerland who can gain an advantage here.
So far no advantage into turn 1, but look at this, 3 cars abreast as they come down to touching with PK. That's PK is touching Japan.
Spins towards the outer edge of the oval, and PK is having a terrible weekend.
That was the meat in the sandwich. 3 cars abreast. Something had to happen. You saw it live in front of you. Contact with Japan. PK, in fact, maybe it was the car to PK's right, but there was contact. 3 cars, nowhere to go, and luckily lots of runoff as the cars turned into turn 1. Nelson Piquet Jr., well, that is huge. Watch again. It's the Czech Republic and Japan touch, then bumps into Japan, Brazil, then into the Czech Republic.
It was just 3 into 1 wouldn't go. There was no space. They were doing about 160 miles an hour. 170 miles an hour, in fact, as they head down that stretch. Look at it once again.
Well, in fact, Japan was the one putting the squeeze. He was going from left to right and forcing that gap. If we look at Johnny Reid having a look at Sean McIntosh, Team Canada, as they come down into...
It's Germany. It's Germany having a go there. A little further down the order on Portugal, trying to get past Parent. And that's Germany in 14th place at the moment. Portugal in 13th. But he couldn't quite make it happen, could he?
No, turn 9 is not a place down to turn 10. You can do, but of course you're compromised. Parent has a big lock-up going into... That's going to give Germany the opportunity to maybe put a position. But turn 12, again, not an easy place to dive down the inside. Parent has been able to recover, again locks up. So the question is, can Germany get itself in position as they come
behind as
Pakistan.
Well. Pakistan and Mexico, they all were almost side by side. Yeah, Malaysia's in there too. We're back on board with Germany.
He's got the run, he's in the zone, he was under the rear wing. He's maybe come out a little bit too soon, but has he got alongside? No, he hasn't. He's got to go back in. He should have waited, been more patient. He's going to go one way as Mexico dives down to the left of the corner.
Portugal hold on for the moment, but Scheider looking at every single opportunity here. Great pictures on board as the cars go from one side to the other, and Alvaro Parent so far holding on to 10th place. This has become the battle for 10th place actually between Portugal and Germany, and they're back onto the back stretch once more, heading up towards turn 6.
Look at the chain of cars, 8 cars in the line all the way down the back straight. This battle with Malaysia right in the middle of it, and also Australia, and Mateus now gets it all wrong at the end of the straight. Maybe slightly unsighted under his braking because he's right under the wing of the Team Australia car. Challenge from Switzerland on Ireland, but not quite, because it really wasn't on. He wasn't nearly enough alongside, and he had to back out of it. And again, into turn 9 is not a place to make a pass. It's a quick entry. You've got to be alongside a car. You can't just show your nose and expect somebody to give way. So Switzerland stays behind Ireland. They're in 6th place now. Poor Neil Yarni, who led in the early stages, ran a strong second, had a dreadful pit stop, and that dropped him all the way down the order. Determined now, if he can, to get past Team Ireland. The green car ahead, but Ralph Furman, well, he's an experienced hand, and he's not going to let that happen too easily. Ahead of Furman is the black car of New Zealand, and then it's Canada ahead of him as the 2 leaders come across the line. 7 laps to go. It's France versus Great Britain, and here once again comes Switzerland, and this time on the inside, got a chance to take Ireland. Switzerland are through, and Neil Yarni makes the move. Yeah, good clean move. That began all the way back coming out of turn 13. He got a better drive off the corner. He then was able to pick up the slipstream. He got alongside. He did the right thing. He just then took control of the corner. Ralph Fairman, Team Ireland, had no response. And a yellow flag again, wave, yellow flag. We're looking at the main. Is this on the start-finish straight somewhere? Yes, it is. And in fact, looking at our indicator, he used the power boost then to make sure of that, did Switzerland. So that was good use of the power boost button. That's what it's all about, and it worked effectively. Canada makes a little error going through turn 8, but he recovers. But it's going to allow Team New Zealand, Johnny Reid, to get closer to the rear of that car. Malaysia's been given a drive-through penalty. They haven't taken it yet, but it's just been announced they're going to have a drive-through penalty, and that's a disappointment for Alex Young, who's been fighting hard in this race. Things haven't gone his way. He's currently in 14th. He'll lose some more places as a result. And Canada and New Zealand here racing for 3rd place, the final podium spot
and a good deal of money as well.
Johnny Reid giving him a real good workout in the Team New Zealand car, trying to find a way past, but Sean McIntosh showing composure, confidence. He locks up, going into 12. Can he recover? He gets it back in, makes the apex. Now the cut across. This is the opportunity that Reid needs. He's got to maximise any of these little opportunities as they arise. It's not close enough as they accelerate out of turn 14 onto pit straight, so any chance? Not going to happen this lap.
Interestingly enough, the power boost button just being used by both Britain and France on that last lap, so they're sort of matching each other one for one, and several drivers still have a bit of power boost left available.
Because wave yellow flags going into turn one, that's all about, as we look back and see, this is the move Neil Yarney, Team Switzerland made. That's how you make a pass. You get it done before you even get near the corner. Get into position, but was it under yellow? I think it may well have been under yellow flag, John. That picture didn't show the yellow flag, but maybe nevertheless it may have been in view for the driver.
So that could be bad news. We'll have to wait and see. It's Malaysia who's got a drive-through penalty at the moment, though. Malaysia heading into the pits and back out on the speed limit, and that takes a long, long time.
I think the question was, if it was done at a yellow flag, was in fact Yarney ahead of Team Ireland and Ralph Fairman. So if it started midway down the pit lane, it might be one of those ones that you say, well, give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, could be a questionable call. So, well, France still in control here. Their advantage up to 1.7 seconds. We're riding with Germany again. Timo Scheider didn't find a way past Alvaro Parente of Portugal, just ahead. Portugal just managed to fend him off. And it would be good news for Parente to score a point here before the next round in A1 Grand Prix, which of course is in Portugal at Estoril. So he'll want to hold on to 10th place for all he's worth.
Well, going to your home venue, it's going to be a huge advantage. We've not seen an awful lot from the very highly rated Parente. He locks up that unloaded right front wheel as he goes into turn 12. Scheider trying to find a way past. He's maybe in better position this time, but it's just getting on the power. You have to wait all the time. Remember, no traction control. The only traction control that exists is your right foot in the throttle pedal. And when he's closing down, nooks down the inside, there's too long a run to take the chance to have a pop.
So stays in behind him, and with just 5 laps to go now, the time is beginning to run out for anybody wanting to make another challenge. The fastest lap in this race seems to appear to belong to Brazil, so well, at least Piquet might get something out of his efforts today, but not much else. He's down in 20th position currently. 3rd place is still Canada. Now, what an opportunity this is for young Sean McIntosh, John. He's moved up out of Formula Renault in the British Championship. He was runner-up in that series last weekend. He wrapped up that 2nd place. But here he is driving a big, powerful car, representing his country, and he's on for a podium finish.
Yes, and he's doing it with great style. He's showing maturity. He's not being flustered by the pressure that's coming from behind from the more experienced Johnny Reid and Team New Zealand. And that's really an indication that it's so much in his own capacity to drive a much quicker car than he's done previously, and not be phased by the car or phased by the pressure that's taking place behind him.
Well, let's see what happens. He's still got a little way to go.
Well, he runs wide there, but can he get it back? That might be his particular chosen line. It looks like he suddenly made an error, but it's not sufficient, whether it was choice or whether it was maybe just a little bit of concentration, but not enough to let Team New Zealand get up onto the rear wing and then have an opportunity to pull up alongside. And then it's a shootout for who gets into the corner first. But look, speed through turn 1 much higher than it would look if you were doing a lap just driving around in a normal road car or just simply walking around the corner.
They must be feeling it a bit now. Oh, there's a little bit of a mistake, and that hint of an error again from Canada, from Sean McIntosh. Got to keep his composure here.
That's what Johnny Reid's got to do. He's got to keep putting pressure. He's got to try and force Sean McIntosh into making mistakes, because if he starts to make one mistake, then many more will follow. The issue that he really should do is ignore what's going on in his mirrors. Some drivers you mentioned might see in past move around behind a car to try to distract a driver, to get him to look backwards rather than looking forwards. That's what Johnny Reid's got to try to do with Sean McIntosh and Team Canada.
Top 2 come through, France and Great Britain. They're fairly lonely, those two. Just we've had notice that there's no penalty for Switzerland. It wasn't under yellow, so Switzerland did get that place fairly. They are running 5th position, remember. Team Ireland in 6th, the Netherlands in 7th, Indonesia